Everybody was talking about going to their room on the train.
No, I think that was the room when we stayed in St. Moon's Reach.
Okay.
We were gonna stay in the room prior to going to the whole train thing. So yes.
Well, yes, you stayed at St. Moon's Reach, then you went out. There were people. It was a nice big line. It was nice and orderly. There were already guards out on the road making sure bandits don't bother the people trying to get the train. Then you got on the train, and I'm pretty sure that's where we stopped.
Cool. Yeah.
Was you getting on the train?
Yeah, because we spent ages working out how long it would actually take to get there to see if it was worth buying food, and it was.
We did figure that out, that it would take 2 to 3 days, depending on how long they did dilate in Prisma.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. That's totally a thing. And so, you are no longer here. You're more like here, moving down the tracks. Choo-choo! And I thought I had some background thing going on, but I don't hear anything, which is weird. It says it's playing. Oh, weird. Some background thing going on, but I don't. Is it I?
So, Thumbtack, if we...
oh, there it is. It's just very quiet.
If we tied some rope to you and threw you outside, would you better keep up?
Oh, don't you get any ideas? I'll stab your arms out for real this time.
Alrighty then.
Meanwhile, as dinner time comes around, I imagine... Well, actually, I should ask, do you call for food in your suite, or do you head on to the dining cart?
I'd say dining cart for me.
Yeah, be social.
It appears if you order in, you kind of have to pick from, like, 2 things. Because, you know, they have to bring it to you. Whereas if you go to the dining cart, you got a whole menu. What?
Yay, meat.
Oh, but
And you're already paying for the food.
They have berries, though.
Yes, they consider that dessert.
Say if you eat too many berries, you're gonna start turning into one.
He blinks. You're the one who's big and red.
Yeah, let's not stop that again.
Look at
As
myself.
long as it's a good berry, it's okay.
But all I've seen you eat is blueberries.
Yeah? Do I look blue to you? And he looks around himself. He's actually mildly concerned at this point, like that he is turning blue, so he's just double checking. He's not blue,
One second. I just need to see what cantrips I've got.
Oh no.
Somewhere nearby, prestidigitation.
Small bird abuse. Small bird abuse. It's like spike abuse.
No, you're lucky I don't have it.
I was gonna say, I was pretty sure that's more of an arcane thing than a divine thing.
Yeah, I was just checking though.
As you are all sitting down and enjoying something to eat, possibly something to drink, possibly something hard to drink, it's your choice. You already paid for it. Somebody slides over. It's a pony. A pony with a horn.
Stop.
And wings. Look at that. A double combo. And they are looking at your example of the species. Tilting their head a little bit. I don't believe I've met you before, they say. It appears to be a male.
Who's she staring at? Steels?
No, they're looking at the.
They're looking at Rose.
Rose,
Ah,
who's our ally.
Okay. Well, I suppose I'm a novelty.
Well,
He extends a wing and inclines his head the other way as if to show off his horn. Well, it's not that novel.
Oh. Oh, delightful then.
However, he says, rolling a hoof through the air, most of those who have achieved this lofty state, he inclines his head the other way. You don't look, pardon me for saying it, you don't have the lines of a unicorn or a Pegasus quite right. What was your your tribe by birth?
Unicorn.
He raises his brows. Oh, did I missee? A unicorn. Well, but you seem a little rugged. Tell me, how has someone so powerful gone without being noticed?
I simply don't attempt to call much attention to myself, I suppose.
He wobbles a hoof. A great boulder in a stream does not attempt to cause a diversion, but it does simply by being there.
That's interesting.
He smiles.
Very clearly not exactly sure how to respond to the observation.
Tell me then, perhaps I have some mistake or another. What is the most powerful spell you can muster?
And presently, a spell for shattering solid objects and restoring my companions' constitutions.
His brows fall, and one of his ears goes up, looking slightly quizzical. Is that truly the most powerful you have?
Yes,
Uh,
I'm not particularly far into my service in the
uh,
into my service of the divine. So yes, I haven't attained a great deal much of power.
David, while he was sneaking around and Queen Rose is saying this stuff, would it be fair
Yes.
if he was able to sneak around successfully, would it be fair to assume that he could maybe make it up to his ears so he could start saying things in response to Queen Rose?
Yeah, I'm going to have to note that whispering in his ear kind of blows your styles.
Yeah, and like that's the thing, he's being stealthy up until this moment, and then he'd like say something. I'm just wondering if like that was an acceptable him sneaking around and kind of went up onto him, was like do went up to his ear, and then as soon as Queen Rose said what she was gonna say right there, he'd chime in. Is that fair?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what are you whispering to this person?
It's not really a whisper, but like he gets there and Queen Rose says that, and he just goes, "Oh, nonsense at all! Look what she did to me!"
His horn glows as Thumbtack is gently hefted up
Ah,
and lowered into
sorry
his
about
field of view.
hello.
Sorry.
And he waves.
Sorry about him. He tends to forget about personal space.
Oh, it's not my fault she knows all these fancy spells and keeps messing with me mind, yeah?
He thrusts
He does.
Thumbtack in the air, just sort of towards our resident Blaze worshipper, and he raises a brow. On the name of your most divine and flaming god, did she make this?
Thumbtack.
No.
Oh, then he
If
drops
there
it.
was anything of that, she would have probably utterly destroyed him.
And he thuds on the ground. Oi! He wasn't there for it, he wasn't. How does he know? I was there. Look at the absolute state of me. Tell me you've not seen something like this before. Come off. And he twirls
He
around.
inclines his head a little bit. If he didn't know, he wouldn't besmirch his god trying to give a false answer. No, a Blaze priest is very reliable when it comes to that particular thing. Now, there are other things that they will bend the truce for. Now, back to you, he says, looking over at Rose. Rose. You are very curious, an anomaly, I would say. Usually we keep much better track of the Unified. You go right off all the charts.
I'm not entirely sure what to say. I can't say that this was exactly intentional.
He leans forward a little bit. Allow me to explain how it usually works. One feels a calling, a bridge between the tribes. They work hard and diligently and gain power and understanding. Usually, far into their training, do they begin to exhibit traits of a second tribe, and then, far later, a third. And yet here you are, barely a journeyman, and yet you have all three. He waves a hoof, wave.
Yes.
You'll forgive me for finding that a bit curious.
Oh, certainly. It's like I said. It would take a lot of going into, but this was not exactly intentional.
He steps up and just sort of sits at the table like he belongs there. He's like, well, dinner's on me if you'll get into the details.
I'm curious to see where this is going as well.
Well, some
Waiter, bring us the best.
well, in essence, some years ago, I chanced across, although I wasn't aware of it at the time, what it proved to be some sort of exotic artifact.
Oh, what sort of artifact?
A crown that
Ye-
I that
Feel free to give me a perception. Anybody who's there. So much perception, yeah.
I don't even have a chance at this if it's
So
pony
little
history.
perception, yeah.
No, perception probably sense motive, I'm guessing.
Ah, okay.
Perception is sense motive.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
But yes, this is more of a sense motive thing. But still.
Amazing.
There you go. So, yes, you do notice he immediately tenses up when the word crown is mentioned. But he nods a little bit. Oh, do go on.
Hey, David, was
Well,
there
it was-
anyone else? Sorry. While that's anyone else around paying attention?
No, it seems most people are just sort of enjoying their dinner and chilling out. Enjoying the train ride. Yay!
Can I recall where he came from?
He just walked over like he was just enjoying a drink. And then he looked over. He saw there was Rose. Wait a second. And he came over to say hi.
Is there a chance of trying to remember if we saw him as we were boarding?
Sure, that sounds like a perception.
Hold on.
Retroactive perception. What? It's like you're rolling perception in the past. I know. Time traveling and dice rolls. You're pretty certain he did not get on when you did.
Okay. Did I pass him on the way, like looking in the windows and such onto our?
You do not recall seeing him, though of course you weren't looking for him.
Yeah.
Like even if you did see him, you probably wouldn't have taken too much notice, unless he was actually like trying to get your attention. Otherwise, he was just a random pony, probably reading a book or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Like all the other ponies, stupid Ponyland.
stop staring into the air, trying to remember something, and then pay attention.
Well, I'm going to be rude and be blunt and to the point. Have you heard of this crown, then?
He looks towards you. Oh, yes. Yes, I have. You see, I am an agent of the Queen. He sort of inclines his head towards the northeast. You know of her, I would assume. Most of you are ponies.
Queen Liliana?
Yes, that's the one. I am part of, you could say, what's the proper word for this? In elite units? It sounds so haughty. I don't look at myself that way. Either way, I am part of her confidants when it comes to the matters of the Unified. She keeps an eye on them. She wasn't the first, you know, but she does have a softness for them, being one of them herself, and she understands their power.
I see. Can't say that this is my strongest knowledge.
And he smiles. She had that crown made. She thought, perhaps, it was a bit of a lofty vision on her part, that if she could elevate all of ponykind to unified, then the division between tribes would simply cease to be, and we could become more, well, what better word is there for it but unified? It was abandoned. She thought better of it. But still, the crown obviously still exists, and he looks over towards Rose.
I look at Rose.
Hear that, Queenie?
The crown wasn't supposed to still exist at this point. It was supposed to have been destroyed.
Sounds like
I'm
poking things you shouldn't have been.
well.
I
It
don't
was.
suppose you could tell me where you found it.
I'm afraid not. By now, I've somewhat lost track, and I was never entirely sure where its origin was. I honestly
Well,
honestly
to be
believe
clear, at this point,
it was a bit of costume jewelry.
well, I know where it came from originally. The queen herself had it commissioned. I would be curious where it went since then, but what I'm most interested in is where it is right now. Tell me, did you have to perform some sort of magic, or did you just slip it on?
I placed it on my head, and I suppose
Voila.
what activated it was using my unicorn powers to attempt to take it back off, because I just thought I was trying on a piece of costume jewelry, so I last naturally attempted to lift it off my head,
He
and
tip-taps his hooves together. Clop, clop, clop. Very interesting. Very interesting. It should not have activated so easily. Whoever had it last must have turned it on and then left it there. Why would they do that? Why? He says, tapping his chin, looking very thoughtful about the entire thing. You're lucky, you know.
Well-
Not being observed could have scrambled you entirely. The person who you were might have faded away. We never did perfect it. We were working on it, and that's when the queen decided that this was just a bad idea.
oh, I emphatically agree. It is certainly not a very. It is certainly left me with certain irritating artifacts.
He raises a brow. Well, you should count your lucky stars and thank the author if all you have are some annoyances after that. Now, let me be clear. You have done nothing wrong that I can discern. If you know where it is, though, you would be doing the queen a great favor.
I
Rose.
until now I had no motivation to keep track of it. I thought it was.
Blast it all.
I thought it
You
was.
look, you're trying to say something, he says, looking over. Face
Well,
worship.
I guess. Rose, I'll be careful what you say. We don't know who this person is. They say they work for the Queen, but
I'll nod like closer to Rose and sort of give this guy a stare too.
No, you doubt me.
Well, I mean, I could turn around and say I'm the Emperor of the Moon. I mean, I could say it. Doesn't mean it's true.
Thumbtack lands on his nose and just scriptly says, "And I'm the Emperor of Big Things. Look, got to tell."
Ah, yes, and what a good emperor you were. You gave up all of your bigness so that the rest of the world could be larger. Thank you for your sacrifice.
And he gives a bow. See, this person gets it.
Don't encourage him.
He gently lifts Thumbtack up in his magic and puts him on the table.
Oh, that feels weird.
And he looks over towards Clashing Dawn. Still, a fair concern is fair. Here. And with another glow, a badge comes floating up out of his shirt and thunks on the table with Queen Ileana's mark upon it. I am either an agent of the Queen, or I waylaid them, and am foolish enough to show it to you. I suppose either is possible, but I can't do much more than that.
I squint at it with detect magic.
Squint. Yeah, it's glowy.
I assume it might have like additional markers to include to show it's real rather than just a pin badge or something.
Well, I mean, are you trying to identify the magic or what?
Yeah.
Well, you should give me that roll.
Spellcrafting.
Do it.
Do it.
Boom. Dice. Ooh.
Oh, well, there you go. Yes, you are fairly certain that this has been marked, and you are able to see through it. And what you see, glowing in all the crazy, static, ethereal noise, is basically Queen Ileana smiling at you. It's like, wow, that's creepy.
Well, it's real, or he obviously killed an agent, as he said.
He gives a soft shrug. I can't exactly prove that part. On the other hand, waving a false icon, if I wasn't an agent of the Queen, would be an interesting way to be asked to be executed. He picks it up and gently tucks it away.
I know. I was preparing to do that if required.
He smiles. Oh, such loyalty. You know, they say that the Blaze priests are a force of chaos, but I've always found you to be so delightfully reliable.
Well, the one that we met on our journey so far was very much.
What?
Very much. Question mark.
Very much both an agent of chaos and of order.
He gives a soft shrug at that. There is something to be said for that. But the chaos they cause usually comes upon those you don't like anyway.
But we're going a little bit off topic here anyway. What are your plans for such a item that could transform a unicorn into a...
He frowns. Destroy it, of course. It's what the Queen commanded. It should have already been done. I will have to send word, and we'll have to start investigating who reported it was destroyed. It's obviously they did not speak the truth.
Well, clearly somebody...
He waves a
not
hoof
cool.
over at Rose, and there's the proof. Still breathing.
Well,
And interested in remaining that way.
No, I have
Well,
nothing against you. You didn't do anything wrong.
well, Rose, if you can pull back any of your memories of that event and where you might have been or what you might have been near, sharing it wouldn't cause
I
any
would
harm.
very like I said, I previously had no real motivation to it. Was not exact. I was not with the irritations that came with it. I wasn't exactly motivated to regard the object with much favor. Truth be told, there is a certain gap in my memory of what happened, into which was placed a certain irritant. And she kind of absently taps on the side of her head.
With a 24 spellcraft, and from what he already told you, you can pretty easily determine that if this guy is a traditional unified person, and he's got all the tribes going on, which he does appear to do, you are dealing with a high-level person.
True.
Put that out there. At least certainly higher level than you.
That's fine. I could take him.
Really isn't that as high as we need to know.
I think Thumbtack kind of squinted that too. I don't think he's able to determine that same thing.
It seems either Rose here is having difficulty remembering where it was, or something's preventing her from remembering it.
Well, yes.
He rolls a hoof softly. Well, we could attempt to peer into the depths of your mind, but that is a bit of an invasive procedure.
Oh, I'm not so much concerned about that. Concerned about that as let's just say there is a irritant I don't exactly want to encourage.
He inclines his head a little bit. I haven't had much practice with artificial queens, so I do not know precisely what you speak. Besides, you weren't monitored. Any number of things could be wrong. And he points at your head. For all we know, you could explode at any moment.
That would be, admittedly, that would be inconvenient.
Just make it fiery and glorious.
Scoot away.
That
And at that
Well,
point,
yes.
a dwarf approaches. A dwarf with food. Platters of food, and they begin loading down the table. Boom, boom, boom.
Thumbtack.
Here's your
got-
drink. Boom! Down comes a barrel, and he slams a keg and a spigot into it. Here you go. Enjoy.
And Thumbtack is like dodging around because he was put on the table. Ah!
Stuff is just falling down around you like a meteor swarm.
That's a
It's
very
always
careful
just-
media storm.
It's a delicious meteor swarm.
He didn't
The
die.
best kind. But anyway, yes, food has been served, and he wanders off. 'Cause he's got other things to do. Places to go, people to see. You know how it goes.
yes.
Meanwhile, you have a friend. Question mark.
Oh, a possible friend.
I can't force you to do that. That would just be rude, and you are not an agent of the Queen. So you haven't made that sort of oath. Still, it would be
if
quite
it-
a favor. It's kind of
I would be willing to undergo the trial if only I'm certain it would stir a couple of undesirable things up, but if it would avoid the issues that I have dealt with from having someone else having to deal with them, it would be good.
You can't have victory without some pain.
Well, yes, there's that too.
He gives a soft nod. Yes, exactly so. Excellent. I will prepare the spell then. Now, where are you riding to?
The capital.
Ah, then we have plenty of time. Tomorrow I'll have the spell ready. I'm in and he points down the way and gives a number. You can come to me, or if you give me your number, I can always come to where you are. Do you have a suite, or are you in a shared?
Why don't we just wait till we reach the city and then we have assurance?
He raises a brow. What assurance?
Well, if we do it in the city, we do have Derek and various others that can help if something does go wrong.
He gives a soft shrug. Nothing should go wrong.
Would be the
Besides,
best way to-
some being uncomfortable, living the past can always be a bit of a journey.
Yeah, but I'd be a little more comfortable to do this out of off a train in more privacy.
I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, and we
Sweet.
faced
I
scarier odds than
can come to your suite. It's fairly private, I would think.
I believe the concern my companion is attempting to express, albeit somewhat awkwardly, is that if we are in the city, it would be much easier to find expert assistance should any complications develop.
He gives a soft sigh. Well, very well then. I will just have to temper my patience. Now, I think it is time to eat. He picks up a fork in his magic.
Thumbtack leaps off the table. It's not a good place for him to be right now.
I will help my face to food.
You use face on food. It's very effective.
I cast face to food.
No, see, I was thinking more of those old point-and-click adventures. Use face on food.
yeah.
I play a lot of those games.
The next screen is just clashing Don's face with like.
No.
Yeah. Comes back up. There's a game over screen.
Oh no!
You failed.
Yeah, that's what happens if you do it 3 times. Hey, I've had games where that's how that works. Do something too many times, you lose.
Is there any berries on the table?
There does appear to be a dessert, which is like a great big bowl of various fruits.
Dives into it.
The majority of the food looks like it was made for pony folk, which sort of makes sense since a pony ordered it.
Yep.
So expect a lot of seeds, a lot of greens, some fruits and veggies.
Yes, he's
Okay.
dived into
Sadness.
the bowl of
Although surprisingly, there are bacon bits in the salad.
I'll nibble around stuff.
he is lodged himself way down into the berry bowl.
You become one with the peach.
Yes, and he has found a blueberry and he's nibbling it. Nom nom nom.
Your guest notices at least one griffin is displeased with the selection, and he rolls a hoof. I did say I would be the host. You don't look very happy. What do you prefer?
Look around, see if anyone else there has a nice plate of meat.
Oh, there is a dwarf that looks like he normally works on the train, but obviously he's like off duty at the moment, and he has like this great big old steaming steak that he is just sinking his teeth into. Oh, no.
Partially drooling, looking over at that, says, I will take whatever he has, if we could order that.
He glances
And if needed,
over.
I can eat someplace else.
Ah, all right. Dwarven fare it is. Give me one of what he has. He says, pointing over that way. The dwarf grunts. The dwarf that's being pointed at, that is. Whereas the waiter is already scooting off. And he nods. There we go. We'll get your belly properly filled. Just the least I can offer.
Thank you.
What's it like working for the Queen then?
Busy? He smiles. She. There is always the matter of confidentiality. There's only so much I can say, but she tends to stay in one place, and we are her fingers and hands, reaching out across her great nation, trying to keep things straight. And there's always something going on.
Well, you won't want to let her know that somebody tried to blow up Galloping Dams down.
He frowns softly. I've actually already heard of that. That's why I'm on this train, looking for suspicious individuals. But then I saw what I didn't expect. Looks over at the Queen.
You guys smiles back a little weakly.
Thumbtack goes up to land on top of Queen's nose and looks at. Oh, you stay away from her, you creepo, you.
He gives a soft shrug. Oh, you're going to stand in the way of love, two light creatures coming together.
Yeah, I'm a bodyguard.
What?
Look, can't you tell?
I did not know what to say. I did not know to say, Thumbtack. I didn't know you could tolerate me. I have trouble tolerating you, so I thought it was mutual.
He gives a soft shrug. I will accept this as a consolation prize. At least my suffering has caused friendship to blossom. That he eats. No. He doesn't look very actually torn up about it.
Thumbtack gives a little bit of a snicker, and then he looks toward Queenie and just kind of whispers a little bit, "I don't take you off the hook either." And he flutters up and he pulls out one of his mini marbles and drops it on New Guy's head. You thunk. Initiation ritual, yeah?
So there he is, just kind of casually chewing, then suddenly thump.
Everybody gets a marble.
The marble floats up in his magic. He squints at it, and he squints at the source of the marble.
He waves. Hello.
We are relatively confident that he has lost all of his.
Oh.
You are fortunate that the Queen does not allow what I am first tempted to do, he says, placing the marble on the table.
Come off it. Try me.
No, you really don't want me to.
Aw, bet. He looks innocent as ever. He lands on his nose. Come off. He is actively trying to make this guy angry.
Thumbtack, I do believe that this is not someone that it is wise to anger.
Oh, I'm not making him angry. Look, you're not angry, are you? Pat, pat, pat,
You're
pat.
trying to provoke him into destroying you.
Oh,
I would hold you still so he could, by the way.
No, you wouldn't. Look at that. He's such a gentleman. Look at you. Look at you. Pat, pat, pat.
He smiles. Oh, yes, I am feeling very generous. Very generous indeed.
Yeah.
See? Look at that. He's such a nice guy.
I mean, the more you react to him, the worse he gets, generally speaking.
In fact, I think I will give you something nice.
Huh?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Just close your eyes and think of something nice.
Alright, I'm thinking of... And he thinks...
Then he
berries.
speaks arcane words. Oh, no. Feel free to give me a spellcraft if you want to figure out what the heck he's casting.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I'm sure this won't hurt.
Arcane Rock, surely.
You have no idea.
Enlarge.
No idea, no idea.
So, what were you thinking of?
No idea.
No. Thumbtack.
He was thinking of berries.
So, all of a sudden, your mouth fills with the taste of the absolute most perfectly just at the right amount of ripeness berry you have ever tasted. It is, in fact, overwhelming. Give me a will save. As just this perfectness fills your mouth. Oh, it's so perfect.
Is this Phantasmal Berry? I approve.
Wow, a 20. That still fails. So you tried. You really tried. So again, yeah, this guy's kind of casting big spells now. So yes, you were stunned for a round. Just berries.
And he. Hi! What's this then?
Well, I was gonna say, after the round, you then are staggered, as you are just like still trying to recover from the taste of perfection.
And he falls down off of whatever. Like he was on his nose, so whatever's below his nose. Whee!
Go right into his food.
Boom.
He reaches with his fork and just gently like scoops you out. Boop.
He's very dizzy. He's smiling.
By the way, he cast waves of ecstasy at you.
Oh my!
That's amazing.
Which, yes, stuns you for a round and staggers you for the rest of it.
Yep. He's just like curled up, and he's just like berries.
I have tasted perfection.
Yes.
No other berry can be this good. Meanwhile, he eats. No. This is so much better now. I usually save that for horrifying beasts. He qualified. No.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've attempted to kill him a number of times. I mean, I could have, but it just gets expensive to bring him back alive.
Oh no, that won't kill him. Just distract him for a moment, which is just long enough for me to finish my food. Since you are not loopy for about a minute and a half. And then he slides to his hooves. I will see you when we arrive at Villa Town, which is now my destination.
Well, we will meet again.
Now, since you already know who I am, if you do see anybody suspicious on this train, do contact me.
Sure, we'll send you thumbtack.
He nods. It is my faint hope that whoever caused the trouble at Galloping Dam took a route much like you did. They're attempting to flee. And if they did, perhaps we'll find them. But there's a good chance they didn't. Still, better to look and not see than to not look and miss the chance. Good evening,
Bye.
man. And off he goes. Trot.
Sounds like you got yourself a special friend there, Rose.
Don't worry. I'm used to having all sorts of involuntary friends.
You're like friends with 80% less consent. Yeah!
Yeah, I mean that sounds like fun. To be honest.
Thumbtack has the biggest smile, as if he's not even thinking about anything except for berries right now, and he kind of just
Reach
like,
around,
does that
grab thumbtacks, slide him in my pouch. It's full of berries.
He's just making little cute cat bird noises.
That's not what we need.
It's
I will
rather
point out that this is already like, okay, well, how did the false queens happen? Well,
cool.
Yeah.
well, there you go.
You put on some weird, freaky helmet, and you ended up with spouting wings and getting a bit thicker in the right place.
Yes, thick with two C's.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's some freaky shit.
Yes.
Those are
Well,
technical
also-
terms.
it's also a good lesson in not putting on random items before checking their magical.
I
But
wouldn't
you
exact.
can,
I can't say that it ever occurred to me that what seemed to be one piece of costume jewelry among ver- among numerous similar pieces, which were entirely mundane, by the way, could possibly be magical.
was you in some sort of shop?
I didn't hear.
I mean, I said, was you in some sort of shop to be around that much costume jewelry?
Something
Is it
about
in
a shop and
come through?
costumes.
Well, I said, was you in some sort of shop to be around that much costume jewelry?
Yes, actually.
But you can't remember where the shop was.
No, not really.
Most
My
peculiar.
my suspicion is that the memories were cleared away to make way for my current burden that is not exactly Thumbtack.
Well, it sounds like someone may have purposely attacked you then. Well, purposely targeted you, at least to a degree. Because I doubt you would randomly have actually put it on. Because who knows who might have found it. But I'm only speculating, and hopefully when we poke around in your head, we might have more answers. I am curious, though. What happens if a griffin
Well, we could.
or some not a
Now you have just motivated me to see if we can find it, if only so we can test it on Thumbtack here.
I mean, it would shrink to his size, I suppose.
How long does that spell last, by the way? I'm just curious.
I said a minute and a half.
Yeah.
It's around per level, and he's about 15. So
Yep, he's still just moseying around in the bag.
life is so good.
It most certainly is.
But if it's an item that needs to be destroyed, I'm quite happy at lending my skills at destroying things.
Well, if the agent's investigations bear fruit, then I should like to have your help.
Well, they might deal with it themselves. It sounds Empire related.
That is true as well.
Do have one question
But,
now? I interrupt. Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
So why was he in such a rush to do it here instead of waiting for town? I'd rather have somewhere. It's interesting that he wanted to get it done as soon as possible, possibly leave before we even reach town.
Well, have you ever had something that you wanted to do straight away and you couldn't wait?
Yeah, but
Well,
Maybe he just regarded. It is possible that he simply regarded the matter as especially urgent.
I mean,
Yeah.
it sounded like it was fairly urgent on his side of things. I mean, if this was the Spear of Blaze, then I would want to know everything you would possibly know right now about where it's located.
yeah, understandable, but it's probably the Griffin in me. I really don't trust him with this knowledge. I'd rather have it gave to someone we could trust more. Even your church would be something I would trust with this stronger.
Why
This
would,
is
who is more,
agent of
who would be more trustworthy? Who would be more trustworthy than the queen?
Do we even know? He has a badge, but yeah, is it valid?
In every way I could possibly check, yes. Like I said, the only way it isn't valid is if he murdered a member of the Queen's inner circle and stole their badge.
And it's also possible he may be trying to do it for his own benefit. Outside the...
He's already an Alacor. I can't see what benefit it would grant him.
The ability to choose later on who may or may not be.
I mean, people can still become these Alacons through the right paths or bloodlines. It's never going to stop. But I think your fears are founded. This is clearly an artifact that holds great urgency to him to find. And I could understand the feeling if Rose had something stored in her mind on how to say find the Spear of Blaze, then I would want to know its location as soon as possible.
How about this? We agree to help him as long as we are the ones that return it to the Queen.
I suppose it would be something where
How cheeky.
I'm just, I don't, Griffin greed is pretty strong and I don't see it often, but I'd rather not give something away this powerful, looking over at your old Queenie and going, yeah. Anyway.
well, I'm all for.
Besides, we
making
have to
a name
find
for
out what
myself.
happens when a griffin wears one.
No.
Well, we already have a volunteer, even if he doesn't realise it.
You can't even, it would just,
Shrink
we
to
could
his
stick
size.
dozens of them in it. In that case,
Just put the crown around him.
or would it shrink?
I have no idea, but it'll be interesting to attempt it, maybe. But I mean, it sounds like it is a powerful magical item, maybe close to an artifact level, if it can turn ponies into Alacors.
The fact it was created by the Queen, that makes me even more wonder.
This is true. But,
And it was abandoned for some reason. Odd.
well, she unified the kingdoms through other means rather than turning us all into Alacors, which I
What was their plan?
I don't
Just
know.
passing it around to here, put this on, or was it to affect
Well,
everyone at once?
It was
Well,
still
who
in,
knows?
it was a work in progress, man.
Not that
Maybe
the
it was
character
too,
knows that.
Somebody's ringing it over.
maybe it was to affect everyone at once, more sensible way.
True.
Because if you give people a choice, then they're likely to not make the choice you want them to make. Better to force it upon them and let them get used to it.
Understandable. Anyway, I go back to eating and shrug.
But we'll wait into the city and we'll see how he does with the mind poking of Rose. If you feel more comfortable, we can always request it's done in the palace itself. That will assume his authority even more.
Are we able to do that? Then I would agree, yeah.
Well,
Perfect.
I'm sure he can. I mean, I've never been in the palace. It'll be interesting, I'm sure.
It might be fun.
It would.
I mean, we'll have to keep a tight leash on Thumbtack, I'm sure, but the last thing we want him to do is fly enough, breaking into the courtroom as the Queen's visiting or something and cause mayhem.
What's the
Yeah,
call?
I wouldn't go talking while you're saying that. It'll slip into his subconscious while he's asleep.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, he's just like in his little State just like, what's a courtroom? That sounds like it's fun to be in.
Yeah, do that and I'll crush you like the bug you are.
Oh, I love myself some jam. I like crushed berries. Can you crush this one?
Yeah, sure, just hold it up above your head.
And he does so. Woo.
Wait, that's on my side.
He's out of it.
Anyway, how do we want to retire? You guys want to keep watch on this train, or do we trust ourselves being safe?
I would have thought this would be the one place we could consider ourselves being safe. It's moving. If somebody attempts to break in, hopefully we'll hear the doors open.
And I'm back.
Somebody broke in! Oh god!
What?
We're just Steele just got done saying if anybody breaks in, I'm sure we'd hear the door open, and then you came in and we're just like, and I'm back, and I was like, oh god, somebody broke in!
Oh no!
Yeah, it's never been on this train, so I'm not sure how well it is.
I mean, usually people don't ring the doorbell to then bust it.
Okay, well, I'm retiring after I eat.
Thumbtack in his state is probably just going wherever you go because he's in your pack.
Thumbtack is already retired.
He is giving the blueberry currently with him the biggest hug, and as he puts it up, he just says, "You're my only friend, Barry. You know that."
Somewhere in another dimension, the berry nods. It's okay, I get you, man.
His name is Boo Boo.
No, his name
No,
is
my
Barry.
name is Beauregard,
B-A-R-R-Y.
thank you.
I'll hang up the bag someplace so you can get out if needed.
He likes it in the berry bag. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't like you squirming around on me all night.
Well, it's your fault for telling me you have a berry bag.
Yeah, but it's the easiest way to keep him quiet.
True.
No, we just need to find a berry. If he eats it, it makes him go unconscious.
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea while hanging up the bag.
In case
I
of
assume
emergency.
we've retired back to our
The room.
suite. Car suite? Sweet car? Swedish?
Car
You have
suite.
it. There is a car with a couple of suites in it, one of which is yours.
Okay.
Woohoo!
And it even has a door. A door even has a lock.
That
Delightful.
requires Keys. Right. I forgot about that.
If you're that paranoid, I can shove a chair underneath the door. That will hopefully keep it closed even more.
There you go.
No.
But yes, your ticket is also the key. How convenient.
Very
Okay.
convenient indeed.
Find a high spot, look out the window, and then slowly fall asleep.
And so you dream of soaring for hours on end with no fatigue. Ah, it's good to be on a train.
I agree. It's good to be on a train.
My dream is murdering everything.
I will point out that actually is a Griffin tradition, is racing the train, seeing who can keep up with it for the longest. Because it's not going to get tired.
This train? It's really slow.
It just keeps going.
Sure.
Just keeps going. I mean, we worked out it's a lot faster than somebody trying to walk someplace.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yes.
Which is, that's pretty much all you got to do. Is be faster than a person walking, and be reliable, and you're going to surpass walking pretty quickly.
So over the 3 days we're on this train, do I meet any other griffins?
Let's find out. No, there are no griffins on this train. Disappointing.
Yeah, Thumbtuck doesn't count.
No, Thumbtack does not count.
Oh,
Because you didn't meet them on the train.
Nope.
See?
okay, that's basically what I'm doing on the train. Just walking around, looking out, saying hello.
Off to the left, you can see Shimmer Peak going past. It's so large, and tall, and majestic. And being a Griffiny sort yourself, you are pretty sure there are Griffins up there. They do like mountains.
Where is that on the map?
Right
Oh,
there.
okay.
I don't think Bristol Lux is there, but the Shriven Peak is.
No, Briston Lux is currently 4 foul not found.
Oops.
Oh
Yeah,
dear.
Briston Lux is kind of amazing, and it not existing most of the time.
Well,
As opposed to Tempest, which always exists, but we're never quite sure what that means.
well, once we make it to the through the Forest of Dreams, then we know we'll be near Field to Town.
Boop. You are now approaching the Forest of Dreams. You're not sure whose dreams are being fulfilled in this forest. You didn't name the place. Why is Thumbtack dancing around?
Because it's adorable, and he's just dancing around this token right here.
Because he's
Because he can. Acceptable answer. And so the train pulls to a stop at a small little station in the middle of the forest. You see some people get off. You also see some ponies get on, but you also see a large number of not quite ponies get on. Brightly colored in various configurations.
Do I recognize the species? Or
Give me nature!
oh well, no. Haha.
I mean, the DC is 10 or less, so you could still do that. Seriously, anybody can make this roll.
Oh,
See, you
Yeah.
did it!
alright.
I mean, I
No,
can
these are definitely flutters. Flutter ponies.
How large?
They're medium.
Medium.
They are medium flutter
Don't-
ponies.
Yeah, if you've never seen them before, don't get them too excited and don't talk about colourful things.
Oh jeez.
He's looking out the window, and he's just
For
like,
a neck.
"Oh, look at them go! They're so beautiful."
You should go and tell them they're the best thing ever, Thumbtack. You'll
Alright,
make the best
alright.
friend and it will just...
Oh, here's some candy to give to him.
Oh yeah. And whatever candy you're giving him, like I take it's like one candy.
Yeah.
He like picks it up and he starts fluttering for whatever exit that he knows of. We're at a stop, right? Like,
So you exit your suite room and almost crash into one of them, except both you and them are really good flyers.
thump, ah!
And so you just kind of swirl around each other. Birds sometimes do.
Oi!
And the flutter tilts her head at you and squints.
Thumbtack
Wait.
comes back.
Are you the tack? She says, point.
Tack. What you mean by that? And he looks like suddenly a little defensive.
The tack. I heard of you, I think.
Who's asking?
Are you? Your number one fan, she says, throwing her hooves wide.
Oh, that one! Look at that! And I mean, does he know this person?
No,
Oh. In that case,
you don't know who this person is.
He blinks. What do you mean you're my number one fan?
You save the dam. And she points out the point. And you let one of us look good while you're doing it.
And he blinks. And internally, he's just thinking to himself, oh god, my name's gotten out there, it has. They're gonna know where I am now.
Can I have your autograph? Paper.
He looks down, he looks up, he kind of shakes his head from his little thoughts. Oh, yeah, that was me, yes, I can. You got, and he looks up, you got an ink pot?
Huh? No, I don't need that. And she tilts a bit to the side and starts fluttering one of her wings over you and basically dousing you in fairy dust, aka flutter pony dust.
Yeah. So he gets all
And then it's like, all right, now fly into it. And she holds it up like as firmly as she can.
and he does so.
Boom.
uh,
Oh, it's perfect. And she folds it very carefully and puts it away.
he looks a little dizzy. Oh, where's the leak, ma'am? And he drops the candy like just before she closes it. Bloop. So now she has a candy too.
Huh? What? Wait, what is this?
It's a berry candy, and he flops down on the ground because he's a little dizzy.
What? You're giving me gifts? I'm supposed to be giving you gifts. I mean, thank you. Gulp. And she swallows it.
Anything for
Doesn't
me,
even
number
chew
one
it.
fan.
Gulp. Gone.
He has to shake his head and get back up. Alright, you'll be safe then. And he goes back over to Theus's
Ooh. Can you help me look awesome?
he looks back. Oh, you already look awesome.
Oh, you're too nice, she said. Flutter, flutter, flutter.
And I'm watching this from remote.
he gives a little bit of a bow. He's doing that thing that birds do when they get all flushed and blushy, which is like his face feathers just kind of go foof foof.
And she looks past you and spots ponies hiding in the room that you came from. Are they your friends?
And he looks back. Who's all in that room? Is everybody in that room?
I think
Pretty
everybody's in
much.
that room.
And
Yep.
he considers this and his newfound power and fame. And his
And
eyes
it immediately
kind
went to his head.
his eyes kind of settle on Clashing Dawn for a moment, and he almost with a slight delay, he just says, yes, they're all me friends.
She bobs her head. Bob, bob, bob. Are they friendly?
Oh, no.
Oh, her wings droop.
And he's just like, yeah.
Oh, there.
I wanted to make a pony friend. I mean, I met you. That's pretty awesome. Also, what was that noise?
Sorry, I just realized my printer forced a stream.
Weird. I just heard a doodling, which I have not heard before. Got me very confused.
What?
What's this? Moonwing's gone live. Oh man, I got to see this.
Sorry, I can stop it if needed.
Oh
It
look,
just-
it's printing. 3D printer. Woo, look to go. Oh, so that's the blue came from. I know. Okay, I'm gonna stop watching. So, what was your response?
He just kind of droops and he's just like, yeah, tell me about it, yeah? I wish that red one was more nice. Oi, maybe you could talk some sense into him, eh?
I can try.
And he gets the biggest, like, Thumbtack gets like a shit-eating grin on his face, but it probably comes out as a smile, and he starts flying over.
Oh god, he's bringing it in.
And so a flutter enters the room. Flutter, flutter, flutter.
Step back. What the heck?
Oh, this is a rather delightful surprise.
Poisonous?
I
Hi.
thought you were going to be abducted as them thinking you were a pet thumbtack.
Oi! Oh, I'm not anybody's pet.
Yeah.
You live in a familiar's carrying case.
And what is that supposed to mean?
It means he's a hero, says the flutter, answering the question.
Yeah, look at that. You see what I mean, Miss Flutter? Or Mr. Flutter? Which one does he look like?
It's appears to be a female of the species.
Why is he a hero?
Oh, well, he saved the dam. Point.
Thumbtack beams.
Technically, it was a group effort, but yes, more or less.
I thought I saved the dam with my body.
You were going to suffocate, you were. If it wasn't for me.
I
Yes.
nod and leave the cabin.
Oh, you're a band of heroes, he says, throwing her proofs away. That's even better. Ooh, I need more autographs. Oh, I don't have more paper.
Oh dear.
I suggest tattoos and leave.
Tattoos? Tattoos. I didn't bring the paints. I like mine! And she suddenly turns and presents her rump, where there is a brand of destiny, which is like very obviously fake, because she's a flutter. She's not a pony.
It's not of an autograph.
No, it is not of an autograph. It is in fact of a sun that is smiling. Little yellow lines going off of it in rays.
Interesting. Did you design that one yourself?
She tilts her head a little bit. What? No, it's my brand of destiny. She says, raising her hook. Hey, you have one too, right?
Yes. It was given
She's
to
now
me before I
leaning,
was born.
trying to get a peek. Lean.
I mean, it would be under the armor. Oh no, I'm on the train. I wouldn't be wearing my armor. I'd be wearing clerical robes.
Lean. She's trying really hard.
Oh, come
To get a
on.
peek.
Let the missus see your butt.
I'm trying to remember in this setting, is it normal for ponies to be unclothed, or is it quite normal for them to be clothed?
Assuming you're a pony that is civilized, wearing clothes is pretty normal. However, putting your brand of destiny on your clothes is also pretty. Because ponies usually don't hide that sort of thing.
Yeah, I will probably indicate something on me that bears my mark of destiny then.
Now, remind me, what is your mark of destiny?
I believe it was the sun rising, but given a very sort of red sort of dawn.
Oh! Look, we're both sons. We're like sun siblings.
Oh, look, you found your sun clashing, Don.
Uh-huh. Do you also follow Blaze and will follow her teachings into battle and cover yourself in the blood of your enemy?
No. I usually prefer being nice to people. She lifts her shoulders a little bit. That's almost like defeating them, right?
Thumbtack is looking
Oh,
so
yeah.
smug right now.
Well, yes, there is the saying that you defeat your enemies when you make them your friends, I suppose.
Ah, speaking of new friends, and Thumbtack flies straight up, and he pulls out a marble from his pack, and phew, thunk.
Her little dealy bobber antennas twitch. What was that?
It's a marble for you.
Oh, I never had a marble. She
sure
goes
not.
down and grabs the marble in her mouth.
Look
And
at that.
you can see she's trying to suck on it.
It's not a
Doesn't have
candy.
much of a taste.
It's not a candy. It's a little glass marble.
Oh. Spoo! She spits it out onto the flat of a hoof.
You could decorate your house with it or something.
Ooh, it has a color. She starts swirling it around. I will keep it forever. Unlike the candy, I already ate that. Then she looks over at the other pony. And she tries to get a peek at that brand of destiny.
Which other pony?
Which pony is the other pony?
I think you're the other
You're the other pony.
pony.
Oh, okay.
There's only 2 ponies in this group. You're one of them. And she's already seen what Steels looks like.
Clashing.
Clashing Dawns.
Clashing, sorry. It's not my fault none of you change your names. Well, some of you change your names. Thumbs up on that.
Yes.
But yes, what does your mark look like? Your brand of destiny.
I'm going to see if I actually wrote it. No, I did not actually write it down. I have it written down. I just have to find.
Is it
and I know
that?
one of the places where? Huh?
What just showed up on the screen? Is it that? On the pony there?
In that Fantasia.
Yeah, Yeah.
Oh, that's the wrong pony. Ah, I lose.
I would like to make the suggestion that her cutie mark be a rose, a little queen crown on it. Get it?
Aw.
Well, yes, that's going to. Darn it! I know that there was a point where I actually did write down the description of it.
And now it is gone.
Do you have a full body?
Well, I
image?
know one of the places where it is. I just have to go. I just have to go reading through a lot of material to find it.
Well, it can wait.
Control F. Control F.
What was the?
Um,
Do you remember the general?
No, I
description?
mean it. I actually wrote down a description of what the cutie mark looks like in the character sheets of an old forum, and there's three
can't
sub-forums
help you
with
there,
character
man.
sheets in them because we maxed out the ability of each forum to bear posts with the number of character sheets there were.
So she sees that it is not a sun, and she is mildly disappointed. However, she perks up almost as quickly. Her little titty bobber is pricking up. Oh, my friend has a flower like that. It's one of her favorites. She's not on the train, though.
And Thumbtack smiles. Well, and he lands on her nose. It's been lovely meeting you, miss. What's your name?
She bobs her head, which unfortunately might be problematic for you.
He has to cling on.
Wait, her name is Bob?
No. But she did nod. So many nods. And a criminal amount of nods, really.
Oh, criminal, huh?
Dun. Stop right there.
So, what's her name?
Oh, yes. She does have one of those. It's a good name. Possibly one of the best. She is Sunny Streak.
And he smiles, and his feathers do that ruffle, blush. He says, "Well, Miss Sunny Streak, if we ever cross paths again, I've got to take you out to dinner, I do."
Oh, that would be the best. And then she flies off. Butterfly.
Thumbtack
Where
does
do you-
like, what?
I guess news of the dam incident has travelled very.
Oh, you know, when you're a ladies' man, and he kind of brushes some dust off of his shoulder. Dust.
I question that.
Look, I've just got myself a date next time we meet.
Okay.
You're not the only one who could get who could get a lady.
I am not commissioning that.
His lady is definitely. His lady, however, is definitely more scary.
It's just everybody
I
coming.
mean,
The whole fan fiction is just people coming up to the table and like wondering if her date had got there yet, and Thumbtack just being really angry from down below.
just saying, the romantic interlude of Sunstreak and Thumbtack feels like it would be like way more innocent than the last one.
Yeah.
And first line, this is way more innocent than my last time.
But Theseus, unless you want to meet more flutters, then you probably want to stay away from roaming the car. Because there are probably going to be a fair few of them in here.
Yeah.
They like to think they're ponies, but they're not.
I like. I'm a pony, but yeah.
As
Anyway,
opposed to the cows that like to think that they're ponies, and everybody agrees with them.
I'll be
So
eating
unfair.
in the car today from a very limited menu.
All right, so you order in, you get a sandwich.
Yep.
Enjoy your sandwich. At least it comes with water.
Yay, water.
Woo!
Water.
Sadly, they do not offer setting spirits back to your suite.
Oh,
Disappointing.
also, Rose, I think I found the description of Cute Mark. I sent it to you in a whisper.
What was that?
Roll 20. I think I
Check
found
your
the description of
whispers.
Yakuma. I said it in a whisper.
Oh,
The train begins to move. Chugga, 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 chugga.
Are we
Okay.
flanked by various flutter ponies flying with us?
For a little
Right.
while, yes.
I mean, I must say, why else would they get onto the train? I mean, it could be just to look around, I suppose, but expect that's a bit of an expensive ticket.
There are other flutters who fly along, all waving, bye, 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 until you actually get out of the forest.
I watched to see if any of them fly into a tree.
Boom, ow. No, none of them fly into a tree. Flutters are actually pretty good at flying. They're like butterflies.
Huh, that's impressive.
yes. And let's see.
And look at that! You made it through a train trip without any random encounters? What is this?
Oh, yes.
I'm
Yeah,
sure we
I
saw
know.
a lot of
That's
random
illegal.
encounters on the way up.
Clashins did find that.
Thing found a random encounter?
No, he found the description of the cutie mark.
Oh, yes, okay.
The cutie
Oh, I
mark.
did.
The cutie mark is a rose that appears to be turned half to steel, wrapped in a kind of draped in cloth, and there is a image of a crown floating above the petals of the rose.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. That sounds intricate.
Yes,
Intricate.
the crown would have been a artificial addition due to the entire.
Look, don't you understand? The
False
Burden of Destiny only has a maximum DPI. If you try to get more intricate than that, it just all runs together.
Okay.
I mean, I'm partially joking, but also, I mean, it is literally far.
Yeah.
Say, in theory,
shall we
it,
go?
it can't be too complicated, or else what's even going on? Like, each of your hairs are multiple colors going up along it, and it's like, oh god, what's going on? What's going on?
You know, that just that gives me an interesting idea. You know how when you have those felt couches and you can make that look lighter or not as dark, not as light when it's like.
Oh, I've seen the ones where you can like brush it and it changes to like a picture.
Yeah, that, but with a mark of destiny.
Oh god! So someone just goes stroke, and suddenly a picture on your.
Yeah.
So, dear. So, Rose, shall we go and find your new boyfriend?
Are you referring to the Queen's agent?
Yes.
I'm right here, he says as he arrives at your door.
Well, you didn't ask me consent to be your boyfriend, you.
He gives a soft shrug. I suppose we could try a date or two, but I'm on duty.
Well, that sounds very boring.
Thumbtack chuckles. He said duty.
Hey. Whack!
What?
I mean, that was funny. Anyway, Theseus, do you want to put forward our proposition for him?
I think you can do it a little more graceful than me, but
Oh no.
sure. I'll step up to him and say, I may
Graceful.
not be opponent kind or underneath the queen exactly, but I would suggest that if we do partake in this and you have a goal to collect the ground, if we find its location, we all return it to the queen as one instead of just yourself.
He raises a brow, raises it so high. The queen currently does not wish to have her location shared casually. I can request it, but I cannot make that as a promise.
Fair enough.
Then we can destroy it before we go to the queen.
He gives a soft shrug. Destroying it would be entirely in line with what she wishes, so I have no complaints. If you can prove it's been destroyed, that would suffice.
I'll send you the bits in the post then.
He turns in place. Now come along. We have mines to delve into.
Oh, yes.
Oh, delightful.
Perhaps it'll be suitable to do this at the palace.
He glances over his shoulder. This is reasonable a place as any. He says as if that's like not that big of a deal. Come along.
Well, either way, I've never visited the palace.
Well, I mean, he's already in front, so off he goes.
I quietly go behind. Score! I'm going to go and see the palace.
Seems legit.
Hmm.
You. No. Oh, not
Thumbtack,
you.
best behaviour. No flying off to be nosy.
2 minutes later.
No
If you
fly.
do, I may have to hurt you.
And he kind of like
2 minutes
goes
after
down.
that.
And if you continue doing it, I will do something even more horrible.
I
So
will
horrible, I'll
confiscate your
think of it.
marbles.
No.
All right, now that's the threat that gets him.
My marbles!
I'm gonna lose
I've
them all.
lost my marbles.
I was just going to threaten to eat them, but... Or no, threaten Theseus to eat them. That's a little bit better for me. Right, onwards to...
So we need to start calling him Toodles.
Toodles?
Oh, that's a really good nickname for him.
Yeah, Toodles, the person from Peter Pan, the boy who lost his marbles.
Well, Thumbtack, every time you say like, "Don't go sneaking off," he you know, "Oi!" Like he's just like, "When have I ever sneaked off?" And then he's already sneaking off to like a yogurt stand or something. Like, he's just like that, like the whole way.
Alright, well,
I hear sounds. Yay.
we're in the city.
Yes, you're in Villatown.
I like the
And
little
you
horse
could
noise.
even hear the horses.
Yeah.
The ponies. Clip-clopping around.
All the horses.
Oh, yes.
Uh,
Eagle wines everywhere.
Thumbtack looks for the bar that's playing. Look.
We're going to the palace. Stay close. Don't wander off.
Fine.
It's too late. Thumbtack has already wandered off.
Well, you don't get to see the palace then.
Well, he started wandering off and keeps seeing you guys like just continue straight for the palace. And it looks like he's about to say something to the person he's wander off to, and then goes, "Oh, stop leaving without me! Wait a minute!" And then he goes over, and this just happens all the way up to the palace.
Just sit on one of us. It'll be easier.
A lot of chickens on the way to this palace.
Well, I mean, sometimes you get hungry. What do you want?
Thumbtack hides from the crying babies and such, as toddlers don't necessarily know how to treat really small things.
Well, it's fine. Like I said, if you stay on top of Fantasia's head, you will be safe.
Alright. Well, he lands on top of Theseus's head. Fantasia's been giving me the silent treatment as of late.
You know, I should make a little saddle for you just to be stupid.
Oh my god, that would be adorable.
You gotta put it on your beak. That's pretty much where he lands.
Let's say the back of the.
Thumbtack, the most useless trait in the world. Thumbtack taking the willing mount trait.
No, it'll be Theseus has to take it. He wears it on his beak weapon, and he has it in the mount, and you sit on the front. So as he comes in and attacks, you can stab them.
Nice, yeah, Cavalier Thumbtack would have to do something like that. That's funny.
What could go wrong?
That's hilarious.
Alright, and so you approach the castle.
What?
This
Well, we've
place.
kind of been in the back way when we went to the Kind Blades.
Yes, the guards just spot the agent, and they just roll up the barricade and like don't even say anything to him as he just strolls past them as if it wasn't even there in the first place.
Interesting.
They look like they're about to lower it as you guys come along, but then he turns and like gives them a glare, and they quickly raise it back up.
So, Theseus, are you more confident that he's a member of the Queen's inner circle?
I nod with an expression of
Or do you require more proof?
no, this is fine. I'm looking around wide. I definitely on the ground, not wanting to make himself more present.
He leads you right into the castle proper, where there are many ponies moving about with urgency to various affairs. And he appears to know where he's going right up a set of stairs and down a couple of corridors. And he points, "This usually serves as my office, but let's make sure nobody else is in it at the time." And he clops on the door.
Why would somebody else be in your office?
"It's not my office, I just borrow it. So get in there." I don't hear anything. He opens the door and takes a peek inside. "Yes, it's all clear. Come on in."
I'll check the name on the door, see who it's normally.
There is no name on the door.
Alright.
Shared office space.
He waves a hoof and a light, and several lights just kind of flicker on. Magic. Now, I don't live here in the city. I'm often called to many places, so it's useful to have certain spaces available for agents such as me to just come and do business.
Oh, yes, I imagine that it is.
He places his hoof on a plate, and then where there was no name, now there is one. Just kind of goes thump and falls into place. There, I've claimed it.
Thumbtack is sneaking into something. He's trying to. You don't want to be seen right now.
Alright, so when it comes to you poking in somebody's brain, what does it entail?
Usually sitting calmly and letting the magic happen.
Alright? Alright,
I'm not going in yours, though. I don't believe you
I
have
would
any nationally acquired information.
Alright, Rose, chair, and think of a calm duration. Or a violent one, whichever makes you more calm.
I would prefer you focus your thoughts on when you first got that crown. Let's see if we can't get to the root of that. And he begins casting his spell. A spell that's so powerful and takes so long, you're reasonably certain you'll be back in a week.
Oh, I get it.
Oh,
Okay.
Damn it,
well,
he cast load screen! No!
That's dumb.
Yep. I'm sure.
Sorry, didn't update.
Oh wait, I mean, no, it wasn't load screen. He cast cliffhanger! No!
damn it.
Truly, the worst spell. There's no saving throw or anything. Overpowered.
Which
I
is,
do
is that your subtle way of saying we'll come back and deal with it next week?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I feel like, if we're going to give that more time, then no, he finds nothing, then we should probably start the session with that. On the other hand, if he finds nothing, then I'm just... Sure. I mean, both are possible. I'm not saying either isn't an impossible thing, but... Anyway, enjoy the rest of the day. I hope you guys had fun with that session.
Yes, thank
I-
you.
Next
I
week-
kind of wanted to get Rose more into things, question mark, if that makes sense.
Well, I kind of wanted to know how she became an alicorn, so this is satisfying my curiosity greatly.
I've been wanting to ask that myself for a while.
See, I had a good impression that this would do it. This is also the kind of thing that I would go over in that False Queen book that was voted against. Oh, I still want to do that book, damn it.
The
Wait, it was voted against?
Well, it wasn't voted against. It's, several other things were voted way more strongly.
so just a heads up.
Voted to do what with?
Right.
What?
Made it right.
What's that from Tack?
I'm not gonna be here next Sunday. It's HarmonyCon.
HarmonyCon? Who does that?
Who the hell is ringing the doorbell?
Is anybody else doing HarmonyCon?
I know someone that is. Two now.
I mean, you knowing somebody does not really affect you.
Uh,
Well, you see, my friend's going, so I can't be.
no, it's just they may ask for a sponsorship, so I'm like, yeah.
Sponsorship? Caution.
Long story. Anyway, enjoy the con. Say hello to Mel. You'll see her in the artist house.
Have fun. See y'all later.
Yep. See you guys later.
Goodbye.